Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to Vermontitude.com, Reformer.com, Brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Joining us for our conversation today is a representative from Windham 2, Laura Sibilia. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Need coffee?
I'm a little decaffeinated.
All right. All right.
It's Monday.
We're coming in because I know you're making a big run to be speaker.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Why?
You know, we have had a couple of really interesting bienniums at in the legislature, and things have just been not awesome in the State House.
Okay. All right. I stood straight up there. Okay.
And, I would say the last biennium in particular, I've, served 5 terms. It was the most difficult term that I have served. And the last year specifically was really difficult. And I would say morale in the State House was pretty low, actually. Okay. Maybe Vermonters will be relieved to hear that. I'm not sure. But I think generally the sense is we've got some really big problems and we're not doing a good job getting after them.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Turns out I don't have enough caffeine. Okay. Okay. I was not ready for that, but let's dig into it. Let's dive into it. What's the biggest concern that you have right now?
So, of course, I have followed education issues, before going to the legislature, now in the legislature, and have served on my school board for 22 years. And, that connection to property taxes and to the function and availability of quality education throughout the state, we are just not resolving that issue. And, I've gotten really frustrated by our inability to deal with the overall structure and governance. I mean, we've got so many issues facing our schools and the financing system, of course, fighting for fairness in that 20-year-old system through pupil weights for a number of years. And now looking at a system that no one has wanted to address in terms of our facilities, in terms of, how the decisions that we make at the state level, in terms of multiple years of buying down rates, and, what happened during COVID to our schools. So I think the sense that things are not well, from representatives in the House was pretty universal. Folks really understand that, but we were not really moving in a direction that was helpful in alleviating that. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like people's morale was high, or their sense of accomplishment was that high, and with good reason. Okay. I think we're a little stuck. And we've got some wicked problems. And with wicked problems, you have to be willing to work with everyone in a transparent way, in a deliberate way, to build consensus. And you've got to be willing to start and, to make incremental progress, and to keep going, and to communicate over and over and over again with all of the stakeholders and with Vermonters. And we're just not doing that. So I think that sense, I know that sense because I was hearing it from a lot of members, a lot of newer members. And, I kept saying to members last year, particularly Democratic members, you all are the supermajority. You can do something about that. What are you going to do about that? And there's been a lot of turnover in the House.
Which I wanted to drill into, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah. And I think that has played into some of this. There's not a lot of experienced leadership in the House. And so, a lot of legislators, a lot of Democratic legislators don't feel like they know what to do, is my sense, to get out of this kind of morass that we've been in.
But it takes the entire the progressives, the independents like yourself, the Democrats, the Republicans. I mean, so nobody's playing nice. Is that all right? That's a shocking statement.
But. I don't know that it's nobody's playing nice. It really felt like, things were happening. A lot of random things happening, and not really a concerted effort to work on the things that there's a lot of bipartisan, tripartisan agreement need work. And it's finding that place where we can build some consensus and start working that needs to happen. And ultimately why I decided to run.
Yeah. Well, good for you. I mean,
I'm not sure it is good for me, Fish, but my husband and I really, we worked and talked about this throughout the last year and decided, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And we have to at least try and push this question and put this opportunity out there.
Yep. Somebody has to put themselves out there to force it back a little bit towards the center, where people are thinking a little bit more clearly, perhaps, maybe. And so, I mean, thank you for doing it. I mean, I think you're the right person. So, and I know it's a heavy lift.
Sadly, you can't vote, Fish. So
I know.
I'm
sorry.
It's only 150 House members that can vote, but I've gotten a fair amount of support to date, and I feel hopeful.
All right. Let's talk about this last election and what we went through. And Vermont has always been this thing that it's been a foregone conclusion that supermajority, as you just mentioned, that's gone now.
Yeah. Yeah. In both the House and the Senate.
Yep.
I think the governor was heavily engaged. We know the governor, is pretty popular in our state, or has been pretty popular in our state amongst Vermonters. And he campaigned really hard, and he campaigned really hard on the issue of affordability. And what's important about that is, he was reflecting back what Vermonters are saying to us. I would say that I have not seen a lot of proposals around making things more affordable, which is the work in front of us, I would say. But I think really important that Vermonters felt heard in that moment. And, inflation and, geopolitical events, federal and state policies, are all contributing to that financial pain that Vermonters are feeling. And the governor was the only one, really, who put his finger on the pulse of that. And we saw a pretty big change in Vermont's landscape, which is good. What I'm a little concerned about is where we saw that change was in a lot of rural purple districts.
Yeah.
Districts that typically you have moderates sitting in. And those were the districts that went from blue to red. And, I wonder about whether or not that is indicative of us getting a little bit more extreme on the and less purple.
Well, I think, and I know you and I had a chance to discuss beforehand, and the things that sort of frustrate me are the extreme ends of political parties. And I mean, and pick a party, any party, it's got an extreme end, it's got that middle, and it's got that just sort of, I'm this guy and I wear that badge. And the extreme ends of the party, I'm just sort of kind of done with, personally speaking, myself, because you just can't seem to get through and just say this is what needs to happen. And in order for this to happen, you can't be so fixed in a position that you can't move and hear anything else. And I know that a lot of people are saying the the positions were lost. Democrats lost to Republicans because people weren't listening. But I also feel like people weren't actually even saying anything to listen to. So, and good luck untangling that. I mean, that's just my theory.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, in the legislature, we need to do a better job also of listening to each other.
Yeah.
It is, there's no, no one has a stronghold on wisdom, based on your party. And everyone that Vermonters are sending to the State House has valuable insights, skills, and perspectives to share. And something to love and probably not love about each of us going into the, and how do we find the commonalities? And you know what, Fish? That's my strong spot. That's my specialty.
Well, you've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Right? What did we say, 5 terms?
5 terms, yeah. I've been there 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. Did they give you a watch or a little,
oh my gosh.
little pin?
No.
No? All right.
No.
All right. So the new session starts on January 8th.
Yes.
Right? And that's when you'll find out. Or it'll be made official or whatever it is. But so you have a magic wand.
Yes.
And you're going to go in there and you're going to say, all right, I don't think you have this level of control, even though you're a speaker, but this is what we should work on. Abracadabra, it's fixed. What is that?
I think that there's general consensus that the issues that we have to focus on are education, both overall structure and the financing of it. Our healthcare system, we have to do what we can to stabilize it. We're extremely federally dependent, and so that is a little anxiety-inducing in this moment. We have to make sure that, in fact, the hundreds of millions of dollars that we have invested in housing is resulting in housing for all income levels being built throughout our state. And there are issues of public safety in a lot of our communities and this general overall sense of affordability. And for me, getting after that is going to require us to be intentional and have our committees working very closely with their administrative counterparts on, what are we doing? Is it the most effective way we could do it? Is it the most efficient way we could do it? Is it getting us the results that we want? And doing our job of providing oversight and collaboration with the administration.
All right. It's a big job.
It is a big job.
I think you're up for it, though.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see. I think so. So.
All right. So we know we got to get you out of here. Anything that we're leaving off the table that we should be letting people know about?
I always believe, and you and I have worked on in some pretty tough times together.
Yeah, yes, we have.
I always believe that the more difficult the situation, the more challenging the greater the opportunity in front of us. And, people are more willing to reconsider how they do things and different opportunities than they might be in the past. And so despite what I think are real serious challenges, I also think we have real serious and unique opportunities in front of us. So.
All right. Laura, thank you for jumping on Vermontitude with us here today.
Thank you.
Good luck for your bid for speaker.
Thanks.
All right.
All right. Off to get some caffeine.
There you go. All right.
Thanks, Fish.
Take care.